Welcome to this video. Today we talk about Kate Webster. Make sure you are subscribe and like. Let's get started. Introduction. The story of Kate Webster is one of the most gruesome and tragic chapters in 19th century English crime history. Her name is often mentioned in discussions about the darker sides of society during that time, and her crime is seen as a chilling warning. In this video, we will dive deeper into the life of Kate Webster, the events that led to her crime, and the subsequent conviction. Her story provides us with an insightful look into the struggles of her time, her personal challenges, and the impact of her actions on society. Background of Kate Webster. Kate Webster was born in 1849 in England, during a time when social and economic conditions were marked by poverty and uncertainty for many people. She had a difficult childhood, which was not uncommon for the period. The mid-19th century was a time of great social inequality, particularly for women, who often had few choices and were subjected to a life of service and oppression. Kate came from a family with a troubled background, and her youth was characterized by instability. It is not precisely known what happened during her early years, but she grew up in an environment that possibly did not offer the support she needed to build a better life. At a young age, Kate moved to London, a city known for its sharp contrasts between the rich and the poor. For many, London was a place of hope, but also of hardship. In London, Kate worked in various households as a maid. Kate struggled with her surroundings and often exhibited difficult behavior, which likely led to conflicts with the people she worked for. She had a bad reputation for her quick temper and was frequently involved in small crimes, such as theft. Her life seemed to be a vicious cycle of poverty, struggle, and little progress. Kate's work with the Thompson family. In 1879, by the time Kate was living in London, she found work as a housemaid with the Thompson family. The Thompsons were a middle-class family, and Julia Thompson, the wife of the family, was a widow who appeared to be relatively well off. She had no children, and at first, working for her seemed like an opportunity for Kate to get her life on track. However, despite the initial trust, the relationship between Kate and Julia began to deteriorate. Kate struggled with the expectations that her employer had of her, and she was not financially capable of improving her own life. She fell into a bad mood and started to emotionally exhaust herself due to stress and uncertainty. This led to tensions between her and Julia, with reports of conflicts between the two. It is difficult to say exactly how the relationship was, but witnesses later indicated that Kate often felt frustrated by the situation she found herself in. Over time, a sense of frustration developed in Kate, which pushed her into an emotionally unstable state. This would later become a crucial factor in the tragic event that was about to unfold. The disappearance of Julia Thompson. On January 31, 1879, Julia Thompson suddenly disappeared. Kate was last seen leaving her employer's house, but there was something suspicious about her behavior. The next morning, Julia was missing, and the family began to worry. Kate quickly became a suspect because her behavior seemed irregular, and she was visibly nervous. The authorities were alerted, and an investigation began. Kate was no longer in the house and had been seen by witnesses in different places, which led them in her direction. The police discovered that Kate had several of Julia's belongings with her, including personal items and clothing, which further strengthened their suspicions. The case quickly made headlines, with the public becoming fascinated and unsettled by the mysterious disappearance of Julia. It seemed clear that something was wrong, but the details of the situation were still unclear. The investigation and discovery of the body. The police quickly found evidence that led them to Kate Webster. Several clues suggested that a violent confrontation had occurred in the Thompson household. After an extensive investigation, the police discovered that Julia Thompson had not simply gone missing, but had been violently killed. The police gathered physical evidence and interrogated Kate, who eventually broke down and admitted her involvement in Julia's disappearance. In a dramatic turn of events, the police discovered that Julia's body had been treated in a gruesome manner, something that shocked the public. The remains were found in different places, underscoring the severity of the situation. The trial and conviction. Kate Webster was arrested and tried for her role in Julia Thompson's death. The trial attracted much attention, not only because of the gruesome nature of the case but also because of the social context of the time. The media focused intensely on the trial, and many articles were published about the case, which deeply shocked the English public. It became clear that despite Kate's difficult circumstances, she was held fully responsible for the crime. She was found guilty and sentenced to death by hanging, which was carried out on March 29, 1879. Her conviction brought the case to an end, but it left society with many questions about the situation and the circumstances that had led to such a horrific event. Aftermath and the impact of the case. Kate Webster's crime had a lasting impact on society. The story became an example of how social conditions, psychological problems, and personal struggles can lead to tragedies. It reminded people of the importance of caring for one another, especially during times of stress and uncertainty. Her case also sparked discussions about the role of women in society, the importance of mental health care, and how emotional instability can lead to devastating consequences. The case of Kate Webster remains a tragic chapter in English history, and her story continues to serve as a reminder of the complexity of human nature and the dangers that come from unresolved emotions and social isolation. Conclusion. Kate Webster's story is a tragic example of how difficult circumstances and personal problems can converge to lead to a catastrophic event. It deeply affected society at the time and remains an important topic of conversation for those interested in the darker sides of the human psyche and the consequences of emotional instability. If you're fascinated by true crime stories and the advancements in forensic science, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more in-depth coverage of real-life mysteries. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.